So in between these two sizes, there is a middle-sized bag, which I'm going to show you today. Hey everybody, thanks for joining. If you're new, my name is Eva, and if you're returning, thanks for coming back to watch another video. Today's video is in collaboration with Dawn from Dawn Loves Couture. So after you watch my video, be sure to check my description box because I will have her video linked below. And today I'm very excited to complete the trifecta of vintage Coach Madison bags that I've been loving. So if you've been following me for a while, then you will know that I have this little bag, this vintage Coach bag, from the Madison line. These were made back in the 90s, and this is called the Gracie. It's a very cute and small bag. I mainly wear it top handle, but there is a crossbody strap that you can attach if you want to use it here. And in comparison to this small Gracie, I also have this Copley, and this is the larger of the three. And I like this bag so much that I ended up getting it in 3 different colors. Here I have it in the tangerine orange, I also have it in a forest green, and I have it in a neutral brown. This bag is really fun because it has the D-rings on the side, which can be pulled out or they can be tucked inside the bag. And I like sometimes decorating it, as you can see here, with this Fendi scarf, and sometimes I like putting a decorative chain on here, and this bag works really well for that. It has a huge back pocket. It's just really easy to use, and for both of these bags I really like the trapezoid shape and how it gives off this Kelly shaped vibe. For me, this is my equivalent of a Kelly. So in between these two sizes, there is a middle-sized bag, which I'm going to show you today, and this is the Biltmore. And this is like the perfect in-between bag. So let me show it to you in comparison to the Gracie. Now let me show it to you beside the Copley. So it really is the perfect mid-size. It's important to know the style numbers in case you are shopping online because I found them often mislabeled or identified incorrectly. The Copley is 4414, Biltmore 4417, and Gracie 4413. Let me show you around the bag. Here's the side. Here's the back. Again, a very generous back pocket here. And here's the bottom. Just like the other two, it does have feet. And before I go on to show you any more details of the bag, which by the way, make sure you check Dawn's video out because she will go into more depth about this bag specifically, whereas I'm talking more in general about the Madison line. So this is a good place to stop and to actually talk about the leather in this Vintage Madison collection. So this leather is not smooth like the other vintage leathers. This has a grain to it. It doesn't have a lot of texture. It feels very smooth to the touch. So I might describe it as like a smooth pebbled leather, if that makes sense, but it's definitely different than the other vintage leathers that I think are more common with vintage Coach bags. So as a comparison, this is my Rambler Legacy bag, and it has this traditional glove tanned leather, and it's very soft and supple to the touch. And it's relatively easy to work with. You know, if you get a scratch or a blemish on the bag, you can condition it and work with it, or at least, you know, improve it. This is not the same at all. It's much more structured. As you can see here, I'm pushing in it's much more structured, and the leather is not forgiving. So if the light catches it in the right way, you can see that there are some dents and scratches in this leather, and it's not buffable or workable in terms of, you know, the recovery process. So there's some give and take with this Madison line. I wouldn't buy a bag from the Madison line if I felt like it needed a lot of work, because in my experience with these 3 sizes here, once it gets scuffed or marked up, it's unlikely to return to its former glory, is what I'm trying to say. So keep that in mind if you are looking to purchase one on a pre-loved site. I just wanted to jump in here and say that the channel Bags, Books, and Bow Wows, I love that name, purchased a vintage Biltmore and did do some restoration work on it, and I'll link that video below. One of my favorite features on a bag is a big, generous back pocket, because you've probably heard me say many times before, I like to have a place to tuck my phone away if I do want to put it away, and it fits really well in this Biltmore. Here is the interior of the bag. It's really nice in my opinion that it just has one big space, and there is a small zipper pocket here on the back wall. I forgot to mention that these bags are made in Italy, and that is indicated on the creed. I like these bags because they are top handle, but I like knowing that this is here in case I wanted to use it. Now this strap attaches in the same way that attaches in my Gracie, which is in the interior of the bag, as opposed to the Copley, where the strap attaches here on the side. So that's one main difference of these 3, is that the Biltmore and the Gracie have the same kind of strap attachment. So if you are going to use the strap, you're going to insert it here through these loops. And I like to put the strap here where the connection points are going to be inside the bag. So it does have a little bit of adjustability. And if you wanted it on the longest setting, then you could just use one snap here. Or if you're a little bit shorter, then you can move these snaps over. And then you could attach one of the straps here to make it on the shortest setting. And then I could feed that little extra length in here. So that's what it would look like on the shortest setting. In my experience, I kind of need it on a middle setting. So I use these two snaps and put them here, and then it looks like that. So once you close the bag, then there are no adjustments showing, it's just the leather portion of the strap. And I would suggest that if you have this bag or the Gracie, to not store your strap like this, because it's going to leave the straps coming in like this and it's going to start to warp or misshape the straps a little bit. So like I said, that happened to me, but as soon as I got it, I took this strap off, then just, you know, coiled it up inside, and most of it has come back to a good shape, but I can still see some evidence of where it has been creased. So now, even though I have all three of these bags, these particular bags in the Madison line, that's not all there are. Okay, so now I'm not a Madison line expert, but what I knew is that I definitely wanted to have these three, you know, like as a set. I have seen some other bags from the Madison line that have really caught my attention, and I'll show you a few examples of those now. At first glance, this looks similar to my Copley, but it's the Drake bag and it's a briefcase style. Here are some flap style bags. The larger size is called the Royalton and the smaller size is called the Spence. And here are some domed shaped camera style bags. Not quite sure of the names, but these sellers are calling them the Regis and the Chapin. This is another top handle style bag, the Gramercy, but you can see there's a difference. There's hardware connecting the handle to the bag. Here's a domed shape shoulder bag called the Arcadia, and a bucket drawstring style bag called the Deauville. This is a saddle style bag, and the name is the Carlisle. So if you're looking online or you see one, at a thrift store and you're wondering if it's from the Madison collection, then you can see this particular texture of leather, and if the creed says it's made in Italy, it's very likely that it's from the Madison collection from the 90s. If you haven't seen this already, you might be interested that Autumn Beckman recently did a video, and in that video she pointed out some of the different Madison collections throughout the years. It can be confusing. And this video is very helpful and it will be linked below. So thanks for joining me today as I show you my collection of these top handle bags from the Madison line. I do think I'm going to try some other vintage bags from the Madison line in the future. So if you're interested in this kind of content and these kinds of bags, then subscribe so that we could hang out together in the future and look at more of these beauties. So thanks for joining today. Make sure you check out Dawn's video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.